Hi, Taurus. Happy July. I hope you're doing well. I think your reading is funny. Um, you may not, however, or someone on the receiving end may not. But anyhow, we'll get to that. I think what you're doing is, I think that the people around you can't figure you out, and I'll show you why. They were kind of direct messages coming in. Okay, we come in with the energy of the Ace of Coins. We love that. Okay. It's a seed here. Okay. All right. So we have the crux of what's really focusing on for this month is the Six of Wands, the Strength card, which has been coming up a lot in these readings. And we've got the Four of Swords. Okay. I don't know why I'm finding such humor in this reading. I think because I can see the visual of how this is playing out. Okay, so now your advice here is the Knight of Wands, okay, and the Five of Cups. Your outcome card is the Ten of Swords. Don't panic. Okay, I think what's happening here is with the Strength card for you, okay, I think that you've got to, you like things that are deep and mysterious. There's an air of illusion about you. People don't really know. It's like your mind is separate from the body language that you give off is kind of what I'm getting here. And I think that people just really are enamored by you, but they really don't know what to make of you like that. I think in a business arena, absolutely. I think this is more a personal area where this is kind of covering here. I think what you want to do too is pay attention to your dreams too. I think some things are going to come to you through your dreams. There's a real sensual, sexual, you know, like a with this Strength card, they call it the Temptation card because it's very sensual and sexual, but it's also about embracing all those parts of yourself, but doing it in a way that is one, self-honoring to you, and it gets you where you want to go. You're not so good. You like deep emotional conversations, but you're not really good in deep emotional relationships. So I think that you may be getting yourself in relationships that are, they get you what they want, they get you what you want for the time being, but they're not long sustaining relationships. I think that it's more about you're really being asked to look at, I think too, there's something in the very, you have an air about you where I think that there's just a mismatch here. If you're in a business arena and you're noticing that, you know, something is going awry here, or things just are not, people aren't taking you serious maybe, which I find that extremely hard to believe, but there's an air through this reading of being misunderstood, right? It's I think people are, there's just a mismatch, and it could be internal too. It could really be internal where this is happening. I think there is, and I don't know. There's just, I think people are being turned off with, um, or you may be being turned off by people that are presenting themselves to you, but there's a false sense of entitlement around this scenario. It's either how you're showing up, you're presenting yourself that way, and people aren't really knowing how to take you, or you're coming across people that are doing that. Given that strength is coming up in your situation, it's really in between the you know, the Six of Wands, which is like family dynamic. It's going back like in the, you know, and trying to figure out where these uh, patterns are coming from. Because with the Four of Wands, I'm sorry, the Four of Swords, that's just saying, you know, you may need a little bit of downtime. You may not be feeling up to par lately, but in the midst of both of this, in between that Six of Wands and that Four of Swords, you've got the Strength card there. And this card to me in here is not speaking about, you know, going at something in strength. It's talking about your sensuality, the just the you know, maybe what fills and inflames you. You like to be engaged in things that are deep, but I think that you're aligning with the wrong kind of people, because I think that that's maybe being construed as just, you know, your this card here, it's in your advice position with the Five of Cups here. Okay. It's a card of knowing how to please a crowd. You know what I mean? But maybe not in the right way. I think there's a mismatch between what you're putting out there and how it's being perceived. I think it's a huge mismatch. I think people are reading your body language and thinking one thing. I think and they're wondering, you know, what the words that are coming out of your mouth are completely different. I don't think how you're pursuing something, how you're casting something is not at all how it's being perceived. You may want to your energy in here is this. So you're trying to plant something here tangible in your life. You're trying to do something here. But I think that you're coming across maybe a little bit self-righteous, or the only thing I can think of is that, did you ever meet an artist, right? Like that they're just wired different. They're just wired different, and people have, you're either gonna totally get this kind of person, or you're totally not going to get it. There's really no gray area. It's either going to be someone that you want in your surroundings because they're like you, right? Or they're going to be someone that you can't figure out and you're like, I don't really know here. But what's happening here is, I think you're the one that people can't really figure out. I think they're not knowing how to take you. I'm laughing because I'm usually that person, right? I'm usually the person where, you know, I'm wired so different that a lot of people either get me 100% or they don't. And I think that that's what you're doing here. I think how you're showing up may not be, if this is in a business arena, you're going to want to look at this, because your outbound card is the Ten of Swords. So it's either someone is very sharp with you and makes it very clear how you're coming across, or you realize this on your own and you course correct. Because the Ten of Swords is a card of affliction, but it's a card of, oh crap, I didn't realize that, or ooh, I really didn't know that that's how I was being perceived, or I really didn't. In this situation here, it's nobody doing it to you. I think someone may just say something to you, or you may be too crass with someone. I think you're on the receiving end of this. I think whatever it is that you're trying to do, you're coming across in a way that people aren't real thrilled with. So if you're trying to do something, or you're going on an interview, or you're dating, you want to maybe take a look at where this is coming from. I think it's honestly, if you don't get this, I think it's honestly, it's Kundalini energy. I think you're showing up and you're showing up, and people are either going to get you or they're not going to get you. And I think this could work one of two ways depending upon what you're looking to achieve here, right? If you're showing up and showing up like that, like a just in all that you are, and all the glory that you are, and all the creativity that you are, you're going to align with the people that you're meant to align with. But if that's not what you're going for, and you're going to kind of blend in with the masses, you're not being perceived well. So I don't think that's your drop spot anyway, but I think you want to come across like you've got a deeper sense of emotion, because I think, you know, I just think that, again, this is a general reading, so I can't tell what audience you're trying to entertain here. In a corporate environment, this is not going to fly. In a gallery opening, you're going to be the belle of the ball. So it all depends on what, I'm not going to say harness this at all. I think it's wonderful. I think you need to get yourself out there, right? But again, it's not being perceived how you want. And let's remember, the strength card is Leo. That's the 5th house, right? That's our, you know, we're going to go wake up a sleepy, you know, a sleepy little town in France there. But we all know how that was perceived, right? She's bringing all of her goods there, but they were like, it may be too much for some people. They just may not be. You want to know your audience. Know your audience and show up in a way that they can relate to you. Because I think that the words that you're speaking are not aligning somehow with the body language that you're giving off. So let's remember, you know, I think what it's doing too is, you know how to show up, but I think that the outcome you're looking for, it's going to be, it may not be received all at once, right? Because your advice here is the Knight of Wands, which he's driven by creativity, passion. That's what drives him, right? What fills and inflames him drives him, but he's in motion always. He's got no drop spot. He's always on to the next best thing, right? You've got the 5 of Cups here, which is a card of, oh shit, that didn't go according to plan, right? It's disappointment in some regard, but maybe because you knew what you were trying to get out there, but you were disappointed in how it was received, because that 5 of Coins is a card of disappointment in some regard. Something didn't go according to plan, right? If this is on a relationship read, you may have put an expectation on someone, or someone may have put an expectation on you that didn't quite turn out that way, right? And the outcome is the 10 of Swords, which means it either stung you because you were on the receiving end of it, right? Someone really said to you, you know, they may have thought you were different than you are, or you may have put the expectation on someone else and they couldn't measure up. Either way, I think here it was a superficial kind of liaison, for whatever better way to put it up. I just think that it was too methodical or too flight and fancy. There was really no grounding there, right? So with the 10 of Swords being your outbound card, the 5 being your advice with the Page of Swords, it may be that, you know what, there's just as much excitement in honing in on one thing. Do one thing and see it through to the end, right? If it's not being perceived right, how bad do you want what it is, right? Because you may want to take a look at, when that 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups comes up, it's like, this relationship was not what I thought it was. You know, your cups are filled with things that, it's a blessing in disguise, because it had to stop you. It had to stop you to show you really what's happening here. You're either getting into relationships with people like this that aren't on your level, or you're attracting people that aren't like this, or you're getting yourself in business relationships that aren't aligning, right? because let's not forget, this is you've either been voted to stay on the island or you've been voted off the island, right? This is how this is coming up. So, your passions and your desires and the things that you're casting out there, your pleasure-filled zones, right? Whatever they are to you, are being cast out there, but it doesn't appear that what's coming back to you is serving you, because this card means we need to do something here, because someone either brought to my attention that this is not what they're wanting, or you didn't get received in the way that you thought you would. So this can also be in a relationship where some things need to be said. Some people need to own up to and speak up about some things here, because you've got the Six of Wands coming in with the Four of Swords, which means I need a little bit of downtime here, right? And in between that is the Strength card. That's the Temptation card. That's the Strength card, like it's accepting all parts of yourself here, right? And your advice is that Knight of Wands, which is all about passion and fire and desire, but on the move, right? With the Five of Cups, it's being disappointed. It's a blessing in disguise, like I say, because the stark realities of things sometimes feel like this, like someone really just stabbed you in the back here, right? So something you got yourself into needed more thought behind it, because it wasn't as it appeared to be, and it kind of hurt. So that's where I'm at. That's what I think is going on here. But again, I think that these are patterns, and you want to look at, I think you're gonna get these, you're gonna get whatever this is through your dreams, through, you're a very intuitive sign. Listen, because I think you're getting these messages. I just don't think you're listening to them. I think you're like cutting them off, when in fact they're trying to help you, because you're heading into a crap storm here where something that you're trying to do is not going to work out how you think it is. So you may want to rework that just a little bit, okay? Okay. Again, your energy coming in is this. It's health, wealth, and well-being. It's the seed, though, to something, all right? Make sure your ego's in check. I know that, just make sure that your ego is in check, because if there's something man-made up here that's going on, it's showing. It's showing itself, and you're not knowing it's showing you. And it is. And I think that it's going to cause this. So you want to figure out what that is. It's internal. Whatever this is, this could actually even just be internal, but it's got you like this. And if you're trying to do something, it's going to be like that dream where you're running down the street naked. That's what's going to show up here, and you're not going to know that it's that visible. So that's what I'm saying, okay? Thank you so much, Taurus. I hope that I helped you in some way. Okay, if you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Okay, thank you so much.